What's up, hoop fans? Welcome back to NBA Fast Break Talk. I'm your host, Alex, and today we are breaking down one of the most talked about games of the season, the San Antonio Spurs taking down the Milwaukee Bucks. This wasn't just an upset, it was an absolute statement, a true David versus Goliath matchup. And David showed up with a 7'5" slingshot named VictorWembanyama. Let's set the stage. The Spurs came into this one struggling, riding a string of losses, not exactly brimming with momentum. On the other side, you had the Bucks, featuring Giannis Antetokounmpo, a championship contender that many expected to roll right over San Antonio. But guess what? Final score, Spurs 144, Bucks 118. Yeah, you heard that right. A 26-point blowout. And it wasn't some last-second miracle or lucky shot. This was a complete dismantling of one of the best teams in the NBA. Now, what made this win so special? Two words: VictorWembanyama. First off, let's talk about his stat line. 30 points, 14 rebounds, 6 blocks. For any player, that's an impressive night. But for a second-year player going up against the Bucks, that's legendary. And let's break down how he did it, because those 6 blocks, they weren't just empty stats. They completely shut down the Bucks' offensive flow. In fact, he blocked Giannis twice in the first 2 minutes. That's sending a message. That's setting the tone early. I was watching the highlights, and there was this one play where Giannis drives into the paint like he's done 1,000 times before. But Wemby comes out of nowhere, extends that ridiculous wingspan, and smacks the ball into next week. It was poetic. And then, let's talk about the offensive side. A 34-foot three-pointer off the glass. Even Coach Doc Rivers was standing there shaking his head in disbelief. Oh, and don't forget the one-legged running three-pointer at the end of the third quarter. Come on now. This isn't luck. This is skill, confidence, and a guy who is redefining basketball for players his size. But here's the thing. It wasn't a one-man show. The Spurs put up 144 points as a team. Everybody contributed. Keldon Johnson dropped 24 points. Stephon Castle added 20. Castle's been on fire since returning to the starting lineup. And let's be honest, Wembanyama's presence on the court makes everyone better. Defenses have to double, sometimes even triple team him. That opens up easy shots for everyone else. It's like he's a magnet for defenders, and his teammates are feasting because of it. But credit where credit is due, the Bucks still had some great performances. Giannis, 35 points, 13 rebounds. Chris Middleton, solid off the bench. Damian Lillard did his thing. But here's the thing, Milwaukee just could not figure out the Spurs' defense. Wemby wasn't just blocking shots, he was altering the entire offensive rhythm of the Bucks. He's forcing guys to second-guess their shots, to take tougher angles, to hesitate for that split second that gives the defense time to recover. There was this sequence in the third quarter. Wemby blocks a shot, grabs the rebound, dribbles down the court, and then dishes out a perfect pass to Keldon Johnson for a wide open three. It's like watching a highlight reel in real time. And that third quarter, that's when the Spurs took over the game. Wemby scored 14 of his 30 points in the third. Spurs outscored the Bucks 45-30 in the quarter. The energy completely shifted. This was a clinic in offensive efficiency and defensive dominance. And the crazy part, this is just the beginning. We're watching the evolution of basketball happening right now. A 7'5" player who can handle like a guard, shoot like a wing, and defend like an elite rim protector. This is a generational talent. So here's the real question. Are we witnessing the next great NBA dynasty in the making? Because let's not forget, the Spurs are still rebuilding. They have a young core. They have cap space. They have a legendary coach in Popovich. And they now have a once-in-a-lifetime player to build around. Could this be the start of another Spurs dynasty? And more importantly, how do teams even stop Wembanyama? Because right now, nobody seems to have an answer. All right, hoop fans, now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did Wemby just have his breakout game? Are the Spurs closer to contention than we thought? Can anyone stop this guy? Let's talk about it. And of course, Make sure you subscribe and stay locked in, because we'll be covering every step of Wembanyama's rise to superstardom. Until next time, this is NBA Fast Break Talk with Alex signing off. Keep your game tight and your takes even tighter.